Welcome everybody to the Trish Breen Show, and today we're going to do a 3-minute immune system booster.
That's right. We're going to demonstrate, teach, and share with you how you can boost your immune system in 3 minutes or less. And the reason that this is such the perfect time to do this, actually there's 2 reasons. Could you turn that down here for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Is because there's all these studies coming out right now that prove that Qigong can help prevent and recover from viruses, including COVID-19. So what we're going to show you, this 3-minute routine, has its deep roots in Qigong. And the other reason is the sequence that Tristan's going to share with you was a big part of the Energy Detox and Reboot event that we just went through. So this is a little bit of a recap and a review, and also gives us a chance to answer some of the questions that have come in that we just can't respond to in all of the emails. So this is going to be very informative, and it's so good you're here.
Well, I'm wearing this Satori shirt today because we use the acronym, to guide us through a sequence of steps so that we can be healthy and vibrant. And so the first 2, the S and the A, are a big part of the physical and the energy body. And so what we're going to do, the tap, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow technique.
That's the 3-minute technique.
Yeah. It's something that you can take a lot of time with it, and you can go through like a private lesson with me, and it'll take you like 15 minutes to learn. But many of you already attended the event, and we already did that. So I thought I'd just do it with you one time, not yet, but in a moment. We'll just go through it, and then we'll sort of break down what it does and what it can do, because there's a lot of layers to it, and they're all part of the Satori process, or method. The method is about getting your energy flowing. We call that unblocking, and that has to do with the first couple of letters. And I won't go into all of this, but the next one is unlocking. Sorry, did I say unlocking? I meant unblocking. Unblocking your channels, the chi channels. You weren't? You mean you heard me say this before? A little bit? Unlocking is where your channels are open and you are aligned to you. Brat!
You're like that. I'll talk for like 2 minutes, and then I'll say, "What do you think?" And he'll go, "Oh, I wasn't really listening." So there you go.
Sometimes I think
back at ya.
It's true. Do you guys have that in your relationships? We sometimes speak out loud just so that we can get clear on our ideas, and I think, well, she's just processing what she's saying. She's not really talking to me. So I tune it out. Did you get all that? I'm like, mm-hmm. Well, anyway. So unlocking is the next phase, and that happens when you do tap, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow. At the end, you can just have a nice
There's a little
moment.
ditty.
There's a ditty. Go ahead.
Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna tap, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow. I'm gonna tap, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow. I'm gonna tap, tap, bounce, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow.
Taken to the next level, jingle rama. Wow. The final phase is to unleash. And
That'll help you remember.
That'll help you remember the routine, yeah. Shall we just jump right in? Shall we do it?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we kick it off with that? So we're getting fancy here. We're going to shift cameras. And Sabrina's going to guide.
Bonnie says, yep, that's been known to happen around here. Oh, so wait a minute, guys. This is very cool. Can I turn this to face them?
Sure, why don't we do it?
Look at this new camera. This is the new Logitech. It's called a webcam, web stream.
It's a live streaming camera.
Very hard to get. It's just basically this little eyeball. It pops off.
They're kind of sold out. You found this at Staples.
So you're going to see it. And you plug it into your laptop or your computer. You don't have to go live from your phone. So we just got it last week.
We did. And we used it.
It was $160.
We used it on day 6 for our event, and it was pretty good. Okay.
So it's just popped on top of a selfie stick with a tripod bottom for those of you that are coaches, teachers, and healers.
If you're wondering why we're using this instead of our other camera back here, this one is, it locks on to us, and you have to have a certain setting on it to get it the way you want it. And so when I move in the back, it would get blurry. So that's why we're switching.
And in girls' language, it would be the camera that we're looking at right now is focused to make us look pretty where we're sitting and to blur the background. So if Tristan got up to demonstrate in the background, he would be blurry because of the distance that
You know,
we've
when you watch
preset.
TV and when the camera moves and one person in the background is in focus and the person more in the foreground is out of focus or vice versa, it's that. Yeah.
Look at all that you learned from showing up.
So exciting. Okay, here we go.
So I've never done
kind of
this.
figure that part out.
Oh.
Okay.
You're on your own. Okay.
So actually it's pretty good, right? And so I thought it would be helpful because like you could just do this real easy too if you wanted. And you guys could see the legs and everything. Okay? Or you can just tilt it. Yeah. Here's an idea. If you want to do the tilting thing, let me turn it like this for you a little bit. There. I bet that'll work really good.
Now just tip it.
On the stand. Like that.
Tip the stand.
Yeah, like that.
All right, man.
Cool.
I got this.
Okay. All right. So here's the tap, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow. We're going to unblock all of the channels in the body. So we're just going to hold an arm out, and here we go. So you're going up the arm and down the arm.
I'm gonna tap
And we're going to go down the waist.
and tap.
Somebody run that timer. Other side. Can you do it in 3 minutes?
And why are you doing what you're doing? Tell me what.
So I'm stimulating all the meridian channels in the body right now. I'm going to do the back of the shoulders.
I wonder if they can hear you okay.
Oh, I bet you guys can hear me just fine. Okay, so I did the arms, both arms. I did the waist, both sides. I did the back of the shoulders. Now we're going to do little drums on our lower back, and we're going to rub, but first we're going to do the tummy. So lightly, the fingers are relaxed, and they're just tapping on the tummy. This is the power center. Now we're going to do the lower back.
Would this be a good time to answer that question that keeps coming in?
Sure, what is it?
The question is, what if my shoulders have an impingement or an injury or currently lack the flexibility to reach my back?
Good. Actually, let's do that question at the end. That's a good question.
Okay,
Now,
stay
if you
tuned,
happen
folks.
to have a wall or something, you can put your foot up on it, but don't do that because your wife might get mad at you
Oh,
or
I
your
do
husband.
it. That's how I tie my shoes.
Oh, you do not. Really?
I do.
Do it up on a chair. Tap your legs and get down by your ankles. And tap vigorously. Okay? So this was step 1. Tap the whole body. Awesome. All right, now that we've tapped and stimulated the energy channels, we're going to now stimulate the lymphatic system. So we're bouncing, and we can flick a little too. So this bouncing is opening and closing gates inside your lymph vessels. It's also stimulating the healthy flow of the lymph fluid, and it's clearing toxic energy out of your body. Okay, so tap, bounce, now we squeeze. We want to create a tourniquet feeling in all our tissues. So squeeze the booty, the legs, the toes, the core.
Remember we talked
muscles,
about SpongeBob on day
face.
2.
Squeeze, push out, you bleed the breath off, and then you flow down. Then you shake. And this is again another energy technique. It's just getting stagnant, blocked, toxic energy out of your system. And now you flow. And usually what we'll do is a variety of flowing techniques. This one is called the Accordion, or stoking the fire at the power center. This is the creative energy center for stimulating the whole body, healing the body, creating power, creating fire, creating healing energy, productive energy. So you're just breathing in and breathing out. And what I love to do also is orbit, pull it up, breathe in, and root down.
You got the hula hoop there too.
Breathe in, breathe out. One more time, breathe in. This gets your energy flowing in the right direction. It's called the Microcosmic Orbit, but it's done with the physical body. Up and down. And then you just bring your feet together, arms come up, breathe in, and come to center. Now, I did a little bit of talking with that, and we could have probably knocked it out in 3 minutes. Thank you, my dear.
That was fun.
So that's how you do tap, bounce, squeeze, shake, and flow. And we unpacked that throughout the week, meaning we broke down all the different components to Qigong. And so I've got my notes from the days that we went through. And one of the things that you want to be mindful of when you're doing that kata is that you're keeping your joints soft. You're keeping your elbows rounded, your legs rounded. Everything's spongy. And you talked about SpongeBob.
Let's get SpongeBob.
Okay, SpongeBob.
I have all the things ready.
So we had a demonstration with our...
Not everyone saw.
You didn't see SpongeBob? So...
The SpongeBob is brittle,
when he's not in his natural element.
coarse, thirsty, dry, brittle, stiff. Probably if you squeeze him, it doesn't feel good to him because of the stiffness, just like our own joints, tissues, and muscles when they're not fluid and filled with oxygenated blood and chi.
And that's why we put SpongeBob's friend
Twin.
in water, and he was small like that. Look how much bigger this guy got, and look how spongy he is.
So see, he likes to be squeezed. Feels good.
Sounds different. And this one, very brittle. Okay, so your tissues are very much like a sponge. You want to put it over there? And they need to be moisturized with breath and movement and fresh blood.
Mm-hmm.
So
Think about an analogy that I also like to use is a tree. That when the tree is growing and is young, you know how the stems, is it a tree stem? Branches are green.
looks long, has twigs, branches.
Branches. They're pliable. You know, you can kind of
yield.
bend them, and they're kind
supple.
of green. Yeah. And then the older branches are more stiff
And try.
and brittle and dry and less yielding.
That happens in the human body. As the body ages.
These are our branches.
They are. If we start to slow down, stop moving as much, they will get brittle. Mm-hmm. Joints will calcify. Things will stop losing that pliability. But movement is your best friend. Move it or lose it. That's the name of the game. So,
I like to move it.
yes, you do it. So you got to keep on breathing and moving. Now, Joanna's question about why am I in my bulky, cool dude shoes?
He even naps in his shoes, Joanna.
I like shoes in
He
case
loves
I have to run to the door and attack someone. No, we're going to have a little outing later, so I'm ready to go after the show. Anyway, going barefoot is wonderful, and I highly encourage it. Definitely, if you can go outside, barefoot, exposed, or your happy slippers. Get your feet in the dirt. Get them in the grass. Get them in the sand. Sand. Weird. Regarding the arms. So if you want to be doing... So remember we were building the chi here, and then we orbited it? What will happen is once you start opening up the palms, the laogongs, you start to feel that electromagnetic energy. We talk about taking that chi energy and putting it in the body. We talked about this a lot on day 6, how to use it for healing others and your pets. Little Winston, he took a nice big breath when we were doing the chi down his back and a little bit around. Where did we do it?
We did it on his belly.
On his tummy. That's right. You going to get him?
No, he's right here. Do you want him?
No, I see him. So when you're working with your hands, sometimes it's nice to put them in your back. So you take the warmth of the chi in your hands and you go back here. But a question came in and said, what if I can't reach back there right now? I have a really tight shoulder. Should I just do one side? What I would recommend doing right now is... What's going on? Yeah, something was going on. I didn't see it, and then it showed up. Sneak attack. Are we doing something?
I was getting this ready for you.
Okay, thank you. So...
And I was going to catch him.
You were going to like go over my head. What you can do, if this is tight, I would say... There's another move that I'd like to show you if we have time called teacups. We worked on teacups in our class today. We have a school called Life Force Mastery School. And so we were doing
where we live stream
moves.
classes 3 times a week. We call it our Life Force Mastery Virtual Dojo. A dojo is a place that you train. It could be your dining room, your bedroom, a park, anywhere.
That's where you can learn more about it. In case you're interested in joining our live classes, we actually have the doors to our school is open right now before the next cycle starts. So you could go there, satorimethod.com/DOJO, dojo. I'm going to take that off for now. Okay, so I'll show you the teacup movement because this can help open the shoulders so that you'll get more flexibility back here. And also, if you have the series hasn't come out yet. The recordings, if you want the recordings of all 6 days, we're including them in your first month's membership.
And we're actually going to include pretty much a 7th day, which is a master class that incorporates everything that you learned during the 6 days into a follow-along routine that also adds for manifestation and abundance of health, abundance of wealth, abundance of love. So that's like an additional hour of training that when you join the dojo, even if it's just for a month, new students only, you're going to get that for free. We're turning all of those 6 days into a program that's value is $297.
Not only do
yours for free.
You get that one, and you get access to another one. But you get that one. This one we just did, you
Forever
get to keep
access.
forever, whether you stay on beyond a month or not. So that's really cool. Anyway, on day number 2, we started working on the spine, and we did, Sabrina and I did movements for shoulder mobility, circular motions. And so that one's really good to start helping heal that shoulder. But I'll give you the teacup move today. So that's when you'll be able to start getting your hands back there more. But let's say that you can't right now. Qi penetrates through the physical tissue.
Like maybe you have a frozen shoulder.
Right. So you could build your Qi ball and take that one hand of Qi and start putting it in the shoulder. And I highly encourage you to do that. I've done that for years. I get my hands really hot. On day number 6, we teach the Qi ball training in that program. So you'll learn how to open your hands, how to do the different techniques, how to get it really fired up. You can put it in different places where you need it. I love putting it in the lower back.
I just sent out the replay of day 6 to everyone, and you have it until Saturday nights. Definitely watch that. It's an incredible training.
It's in Facebook, and it's still available, and it's on our website still. Okay, so check your emails. But where I was going is you can put it in your tummy, so focus it down here, but then visualize the Qi going all the way through into your lower back. So start to allow it to penetrate, and you use your attention. So where your attention is going, and when your hands are here, breathe in with your diaphragmatic muscles, breathe in, but feel like you're drawing the breath and the Qi from the hands all the way into your lower back. So try that. Put your hands on your tummy. Feel like as you're breathing in, you'll feel your tummy expand a little. And then relax and feel the Qi just soak in. And now on the next breath, take the Qi and pull it in further. So see it as golden white light. Breathe it in.
So on the exhale, pass it to the back?
Yeah, so it's sort of like this. You breathe in and you fill up, like you're filling yourself with lots and lots of tiny little golden white light molecules, but you feel it coming from your hands too. And when you relax, a lot of times what we do when we relax, we let the energy soak in. Does that make sense? So we pull it in and then we let it soak in. There's different intentions. Sometimes you'll draw energy in, then you'll breathe it out. But in this case, I'm saying fill up like a balloon, like with the sponge. When you release, the Qi expands into your back. Does that make sense? So it soaks in, but it's filling. The whole dantian is filling the whole space.
I do that. This is a little personal. In the morning, if I feel like I need assistance with digestion to go potty, sometimes I will breathe in and I'll feel that energy move to my back, and so that everything relaxes, and it's miraculous effects.
Yeah, you get a nice smooth move. All right, we're going to check in for a little bit here. Off topic, Sabrina, I love your top. That's from Bonnie.
Bonnie, it's from Steinmart, and they're closing.
No earthing for me here. The something
like
in Florida. Is that fire ants? Yeah, she can't do the fire ants.
We have fire ants too.
Ron's asking about magnets, if anybody's standing on them. We used to sell magnets a lot to earth, ground, and they're powerful. I didn't feel it in my hands, but I felt it in my entire body. It got very warm, says Claire. Is this cumulative, or was I not doing it correctly?
It is cumulative.
It's very cumulative. As you practice more and more and more, the chi expands and expands and fills up, and you actually get more receptive the more you practice, and you can tap into the chi very quickly.
I'll give you an analogy. Maybe if you're first learning to swim, I'm not a swimming expert, just so you know, but let's say you're going underwater and you're swimming without breathing, and then you come up for air. When you first start, the time underwater is probably very short because you're not used to it. You're not used to moving without air. But then soon you get more relaxed with it and you can swim longer without coming up in between breaths. To me, that's the way the chi is. That's the way meditation is. My breath is so slow. My heart rate is so slow.
It's crazy. What is it, like 45 beats?
Well, yeah, just normally my resting heart rate before I dropped my Apple Watch 3 days
That's
ago
a whole other...
was like 48 beats a minute. And that's it's because that my body has learned how to be very calm, and yet tons of energy, ridiculous amounts of energy that I can call upon. I can raise my heart rate and it drops. But that's from the training of repeated practice. And it's the same way with chi. Your body is going to get used to a greater volume of energy. We actually used to share with people, you don't want more energy than your body can hold right now. You want it to grow over the next 3 or 4 months, because your body... because your body might not be able to hold, like right now, as much energy as somebody who's been practicing for 3 or 4 months. You've got to get the container ready for it. Just like someone's not ready to run a 10-mile marathon if they're just getting started. It's exactly the same.
It's true. I remember the first time that I had a transfer of energy. A yogi was helping me with this, and I received too much energy, and it blew out all the muscles in my neck. And I could barely move my neck the next day. And I remember reading Yogananda, a beautiful yogi from the East, talking about you have to prepare the body temple for the voltage of the divine, or of the source force energy. And I didn't know what I didn't know, and so I really wanted to get this crazy kind of energy flow thing going. And we did this training, and man, it was intense. I mean, I'm grateful for it. And I had to learn something interesting. When energy starts to open up in the central line, you might experience some shaking. Your body might quiver. Mine was shaking kind of radically for a while. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It was really intense.
Especially your head.
My head would shake like crazy. And we call that today top heavy, because the energy didn't have a grounding source. And so why I do that orbit at the end, that movement I showed you like that.
Use your hula hoop.
I use my hula hoop. So it's this way. So the energy goes up. See the pink? It's going up, right? So the energy's going up that way, and then it's coming down the front and it's going into the power center. So this is your orbit, and this can help the energy go up, but it also grounds the energy back down into your body. We also taught on day 6 how you can put somebody else in your orbit, and you can have a connection. You can have a healing with them. We actually do a really cool session on that. I think you'll love that.
That's day 6, yeah. That's really magical. I use that so much when I want to share love with somebody, or even if I'm going to have a conversation that might be uncomfortable, to the night before really get that orbit with them going, so that when I have that conversation, it's full of love. Even with a job interview, in anything, to establish that relationship in a vibration of love ahead of time. We have a great story. We don't have time to go into it right now, where we did that when meeting a business partner. It was we were going to meet John Assaraf to see if he would like to partner with us on a product. And we did that, and the first time we met John, he walked out of his office, opened his arms, and hugged Tristan like they had known each other for 10 years. because of that microcosmic orbit, that relationship had already been happening in the vibrational space.
I did the Qigong tapping before we walked in to meet with him because I had some disruptions going on. My mind started projecting fear and concern. So I went outside and did Qigong on the veranda. And I did the orbit, and I sent energy out from the heart, came in, and we walked in, and yeah. Qigong has just blown our minds over the years. We never thought we'd be sitting here teaching energy work.
No.
We thought
never.
Dance, martial arts, meditation, sure. But not energy and Qigong. Mm-mm. If it wasn't for the healing journey, there's no way we would be teaching this stuff.
Yeah.
We love teaching, we love sharing, and we love bringing many things together.
But with what you just said, you said we thought maybe martial arts, maybe dance, maybe meditation, and Qigong is really like this marriage of body, physical movement with meditation and connection to source in a way that grounds you deeply to the here and now, and the I'm so grateful for my life, and to the afterlife, the heavenly, where heaven and earth unite. So without us knowing it, it's like the perfect marriage of everything that we love. It is a full body prayer that is a magical incantation.
That's beautiful. How do I get a Satori shirt? That's what I'm saying, Gary. How do I get more Satori shirts? So we called our...
This one's actually backwards right now.
Because the camera flips it. Yeah. So I had our shirt guy flip them. I've been wanting to get shirts made for a while. You're going to push me over the edge. Who else wants a shirt? Who else wants shirts?
Energy stick.
Who else wants Satori shirts? I'm thinking the cool S, like superhero Satori shirts. And I want to make one that says Soul on a Mission. We have a bunch of shirts we want to do.
V-neck, right, ladies?
Yeah, so let's get some shirts made. But we need you guys to push us now to make them. Okay, so this was cool. This was the energy stick that we used on day one, just to help people realize that you can transmit energy. In fact, it was so bizarre. I was working on it, and I'm not going to do it again. I don't want to put the phone under, but I put the phone under my arm to hold it, and it disrupted the energy flow. But
so what this stick is made for is to help children understand that their body is a current of energy. So there's a conductor on each side. So when you hold one end and then the other, you complete the circuit. And to me, that's a great example of explaining why. Tell them about a mudra. Can you show them a mudra with your hands? See that? You say, why do people make that funny hand posture when they're meditating, when you see statues? It's because they're completing the circuit between their thumb and their pointer finger, or maybe they just hold both hands together. Or why do they say cross your feet or cross your legs? All of that is based on keeping the current flowing. So when I meditate in bed, I often put both of my hands, if I'm laying on my back, on my belly, and I cross my ankles. Do you have to? No. But it feels
circuitry.
Good.
It's circuitry.
And then we showed how with another person, ear chi.
Good, do your teeth.
Even my teeth, try my tongue. Showing up.
Kind of wet.
So this shows you how every conversation you're having, every relationship that you have, every interaction that you have, there's an energy being exchanged. And choose your company wisely.
That's right. Now we did a meditation as we were moving through the S and the A on blocking, stimulating,
day 3.
Activating. On day 3, we talked about tapping in. That's when you get to that unlocking phase. So you unblock, S and A. T, you unlock a connection to inner knowing. And to get there, we had to use the beak meditation. So we said it's time to level the duck up, and we're going to beak meditate. Rather than be meditated, you're going to beak meditate. So we used the beak as a focusing tool during the session. And we had everybody focusing on the beak.
Beak connected.
Beak connected. And we used a really cool technique I call the apex mushin. Mushin is a term that means no mind, no stress, no fear. And we use this apex point, and we hone in on one thing. We create a hot spot, and we pull that hot spot into the third eye. And when we close the eyes, we anchor in and up, and we recreate that same magnetic focus at the third eye spot. And we did a bunch of different things to still the mind, get focused, and draw the breath inside.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think one of my favorite things, and it is just a tiny piece of the art of Mushin, is if you just, from my experience, my mind is very busy, right? Very
I
busy.
call it squirrel consciousness. Pew, pew.
It's genius.
It's a genius
consciousness.
squirrel.
And so if I just close my eyes to meditate, there's too many.
Hearing us twice.
There's too many things happening at once, and to focus with the eyes open to get everything still towards a fixed point. We've demonstrated with a ring, we've demonstrated with a flower, and then we demonstrated with the duck's beak. That really helped the system to get calm and focused on only one thing before you close your eyes. Makes it much easier to begin the meditation process.
Thank you, Sandy. Sandy shared a lovely post, and you have to be live to read it. This is very nice and personal.
Well, read
No, I'm
it.
kidding. She said, I thought so much of you last Friday, Tristan, when I couldn't join the 5th day while I was waiting for my ailing car being re-energized. And I was being re-energized by reading an autobiography of a yogi. That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
She said Yogananda's life felt very connected to all of you by way of your favorite yogi. Needed to share this with you. Thank you. Yeah, I love Yogananda.
Sandy, I'm his favorite yogi.
She's my favorite yogini. Yogini.
And Winston.
All good on Joanna's end. Phew, we can all relax. Joanna got rid of the echo. It's crazy when you can hear your own. You can hear me twice.
On day 4, we're just kind of doing that recap and review. We shared about the map. I'm going to share some highlights. It was really opening up the understanding that kind of most of us know that there's a conscious mind, right? The thinking mind, the processor, the conscious decision maker. And then there's the subconscious running underneath that is our very best friend, if you choose it to be.
Mm.
Otherwise, you can think of it as an enemy. It's not the enemy unless you programmed it to be. Okay, so the subconscious
For you or
mind,
against you.
subconscious mind, to me, my subconscious mind just says, hey, Sabrina, you usually do this, so I'll just go ahead and think that. You usually choose this, I'll just tell you to choose it again. You usually go with that addiction,
Automated.
Let's do it. So if you program it
helper.
well, it's like your personal assistant, takes care of everything that isn't urgent. If you choose bad habits and then you're judging yourself, it's only because those are the habits you've created and chosen in the past, and the subconscious is reminding you of those. All you have to do is change your habits. So conscious mind, subconscious mind.
I'm going to add a little thing on top of that. That's so clear and so true. It's just like driving the car. After a while, you don't even think about it, and you wonder, how did I get home? I don't even remember driving.
Yep.
Because the automation took over, the subconscious. What I didn't share about the map, but I'll share with you guys that are here right now, is that if you understood the infinity.
Well, you got to tell them about the 2 bodies. We didn't get to that yet.
Well, the S and the A is the 2 bodies. You have the physical body and the energy body.
Mm-hmm.
We always go through the physical into the energy body into then heart center. And we talk about when you're connecting through clearing the mind and using meditation as a tool to realign or remember your inner knowing, that you will then have an upload. And a Satori will take place in the cognitive mind. You will then have, the V8. Oh, wow, I see clearly now. And that's such a beautiful thing to have. And to have a full awakening where you get like a real deep, gorgeous, enlightened moment where you know yourself as source, you'll never be the same, right? And I'm sure many of you have had experiences like this. If not, keep working this process, because truly, in our experience, this can get you to that state. Mm. So then once you've had those enlightened moments, you want to now program the subconscious and rewrite the story so it's on your team, right? So now it's your best friend.
Yeah.
So that even if, life gets a little wonky from the external, your mind is a conscious mind,
yep.
and it's there supporting you. But I want to go one step further. from the conscious into the subconscious, which is programming, planting the seeds in the soil, planting, we then go back out through heart center. And this is why in some of the
This is all in day 4 of the Energy Detox Event.
But I didn't teach this piece.
Oh.
So when we do the katas and you see me doing like the orbit and putting the arms up like that, or we go into the heart center, that John Assaraf story, that was this. I created the energy here, I put it in, and I went like that. And I did it towards John's office. And they say that even quantum energy packets can be transmitted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start studying things like Lynn McTaggart in the field and stuff like that. We can send energetic packets, okay? So I'm sending out this chi from the heart center, study heart math, where they talk about the electromagnetic signal being 5,000 times greater from the heart center than the brain alone. So you start seeing the power of the heart center. Well, if you study our map, what you'll see is as you're going in and through and dropping into those deep subconscious brainwave states, into alpha, into theta, going deeper and deeper, you then go back out through heart center. And this is, if you look at our map, it goes from heart center back into physical.
And
and
talk
physicals,
about that when Tuesday night?
I haven't talked about this in a long time. So what I'm saying to you is this: your unconscious or your subconscious mind is a doorway to your superconscious. So if you take the time to go to, as we said, from Zero Limits, Joe's book, go to zero, go to Mushin, go deep, quiet the mind, tap into soul center. Then when you decide where you want to project your energy, where you want to manifest your thoughts into things, you're doing it from here, through the superconscious layer, not top layer. I hope that came through clear. That's another layer to the map. You know, I kind of dive into this stuff a lot in the dojo. You should just join. Go here. Where's the button? Come and hang out with us for a month or a year or whatever.
So,
Okay.
like, this is very talky and fun, right? Totally. The dojo classes are, I would say, more demonstrative and participatory. You're on your feet, you're doing the sessions, you are doing, one's called a SAT, which is a quicker version of the body and the energy and meditation. One is more Qigong flow, and one is more of a physical workout. It's not just being talked at, although this is very enjoyable.
Well, it's fun to dive into this stuff, and we've created a mental construct to help people understand the different aspects of themselves, their energy centers, how they can flow their chi through their life, and also master their mind. So I said I would show you guys the teacups. So you guys ready for teacups? We're going to switch the cameras one more time. I'm going to show you how to do this. This can really help open up your shoulders. And if you join the dojo, you'll get a complete training on this that happened today, whatever today is, August 13th, okay? All right, here we go.
This takes, if you haven't practiced things that take a lot of coordination, it can take a while to see where the cup is balancing.
Yeah, I'm going to do two ways to help you get this. The first is just the wrists. So you'll just run your hands like that, okay?
So he's touching little fingers, back of hands, thumb. Can you go slower?
This is to get your hands moving in the right direction.
See, little finger to little finger, ring finger to ring finger, thumb to thumb.
Okay. Now what you'll do here is your palms, like you're giving hands, just open them up a little. Keep doing that same trajectory.
And that's for the wrists and elbows.
This is excellent for the wrists. And yes, we're starting to get into the elbows a little. I'm not floating them much. See, they're just sort of going up and down. But it's mainly for the wrists and the fingers. Okay?
And where's the teacup?
I'm going to show you. We haven't gotten to that yet. It's coming. The teacup's here.
Stay tuned.
Now, leaning forward a little. And leaning back a little. Stretching and opening up the shoulders here. Leaning forward. And opening. Okay, now to do a good teacup, you're going to do one arm. And look at all that rotation for your back. And you bring the teacup through and under. Oh, got a knee adjustment. So if I put the teacup on here, the idea is that I wouldn't spill it.
I'll give you a teacup.
Oh, thanks. I
Don't
wouldn't
drop
spill.
this, it's very expensive.
Oh, jeez. You can leave stuff in there.
Look how pretty. It's from Pier 1, who's going out of
great.
business.
Great.
Do not break that. It's one of my favorite items. Don't you drop that. See,
Don't hold your breath.
it's a cup of tea.
A cup of tea. Gonna have a cup of tea. Right there. Oh. Come on, Ron. Go get your teacup. Anyway, you can see what that's doing. Here you go.
You can do it with pizza, too.
Try the other side. It's getting your shoulder,
Oh, so
elbow,
that feels good in your wrists. Good.
wrists, fingers.
Wow, your whole
spine,
body is crackling.
And then you can come back to doubles.
If you work on the
stretch.
computer, this is really, really good, too.
And that was one direction. You could go the other direction as well. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff that we do in the Life Force Mastery School. Here we go. That's just,
I'm just
we
playing.
gave people sampler all week to help them understand our method more and the unblocking, unlocking, unleashing. And it's a beautiful process, and we'd love to have you join us. If you're not a part of the dojo yet, it is open right now, and we will give you a copy of all 6 days of deep dive training. Okay? So that's our review.
I love hearing if you guys want to put in the chat, those of you that got up and tried it, I'd love to hear that, what you're experiencing.
Serving
Whole
the
body
hot
crackling.
tea, says Ron. Nice. Love it. That felt awesome. That is such an awesome move. Watch it in replay.
It helps a lot with the shoulders. So in the dojo on the Thursday morning sessions, sometimes we build a short kata, which is like a small sequence of simple movements that he builds over like 4 or 5 weeks, and many times they have a theme. So it might be shoulder mobility, and the movements for those 4 or 5 weeks will be about shoulder mobility. And I know we had so much feedback from people saying, I didn't even know that my shoulders weren't mobile. Like when you're totally jammed up, you know it, but otherwise you think that's normal to be that stiff. When, a lot of times I'll go like this and people go, oh, you're so mobile. And I'll be like, or maybe you're just not as mobile as you could be if you move that joint more.
Nice. Well, there you go, gang. All kinds of fun. So we try to get together on Thursdays like this, and we call it the Trispreen Show, and we're here to inspire each other and you.
I gotta say one thing.
Just gonna say one thing.
I know a lot of you that are probably watching this attended the Energy Detox and Reboot event, and many, many of you invested in our home study programs. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Yeah.
Because by you doing that, it helps us to keep being able to give. But now that you own the Flow Form, Qigong, or Happy Healthy Back, or the Art of Mushin, those were the 3 home study programs, we really want you to start using them. And some questions have come in about how, and we said we would address this lightly. My answer would be many of the programs like the Flow Form, there's a private lesson, and let's say you do that on a Sunday, and then you have a whole week to just practice 5 minutes. So if you're like super excited to use all your programs, if you start the Flow Form on Sunday, maybe start the meditation program on Wednesday, so that when it's time to add more, it's a different day of the week. Or just say, you know what, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to focus on moving meditation. And then I'm going to go to sitting meditation, and then I'm going to go to the back, and let your body start building its ability to hold chi. But the Flow Form is a really nice place to start. If you're not able to physically move right now, then maybe start with Art of Mushin. But these programs are yours for life. There's no rush to get through all of them.
No.
After you learn them all, then maybe you want to do moving meditation in the morning and sitting at night. They all blend together perfectly. You can do each of them twice a week. They are perfect to do together or separately.
Yeah.
Just gotta do them. You gotta do them.
That's the most important, is to jump into one of them. I definitely would not try to merge them all together. It's just too much knowledge in there at one sitting. Think about where maybe your energy's blocked the most right now. If it is mental, definitely going to want to do Mushin, right? That's going to clear your mind. That's going to tap you back into energy and flow. Like Sabrina said, if your body is feeling up for it and you're not in a lot of physical pain, then the flow form is wonderful place to start. And if you start going through it and you feel like, oh, it's a little bit challenging for me, then I would definitely do the joint mobility in the back, because that one you can do sitting and standing.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're all going to work like Sabrina said. You just identify which one is what you need most right now. And we're happy to help you go deeper and personalize them.
Yeah.
If you're in the dojo with me, we have had some people sending in some detailed questions. We don't have the ability or the time to do email coaching, but in the dojo, and those of you who are part of it, you know you can ask me anything live and I'm going to answer it. And if you're in the dojo and you can't join live, you can send an email and I'll do a special Q&A to cover the questions that come in, because there is coaching in that training at a very reasonable tuition.
And a lot of the dojo ongoing classes are pulling elements. So even the fitness, when we're doing Qigong Strong, it's called the wacky workout. You know, you're going to be, that's accordion arms. Oh, those are Tai Chi arms. You're gonna see where all of those programs come into play to really boost your immune system and keep you agelessly mobile.
Thank you so much. Greatest feedback coming through.
I would have spilled that tea all over me.
Ron says, I couldn't get enough of Happy Healthy Back. Awesome, man. Becky says, it feels so great to be working with Qigong again. Debbie McMaster says, hello, bouncing in late. Hello. Bonnie,
Tap, bounce.
Bonnie says, thank you for all you offer. You're so welcome. We love being here for you and learning how to serve better. We're here to keep growing and evolving ourselves, so you help us do that. Thanks for spending some of your Thursday afternoon with us, or if you're watching the replay, feel free to chat on the Facebook. And if you're on our blog watching this, there's a plethora of shows here for you. So go and click the button. Go
binge
to the next one. Go binge you some Sabrina. All right. See y'all later. Hop.
Graham,
Put him in the water.
look at the camera.
Much love. Bye now.